Do you know what every great hero needs? A great villain. Why? Because the antagonist sets the stage for everything your protagonist does. Without them, your story has no tension, no growth, and no real payoff. Villains drive the conflict and push your heroes to their limits. In the last 3 years, we've helped over 400 beginner mangakas master this with the guidance from pro-Japanese mangaka mentors. And in this video, we'll break down how you can write antagonists that truly challenge your heroes. And if you stick with us until the very end, we'll show you how you can share your manga directly to publishers in Japan. The Allure of Evil. Let's be real. Sometimes the villain is the most interesting character in the story. Why? Because antagonists drive conflict, and without conflict, there's no story at all. But here's the thing, a good antagonist isn't evil just because. In fact, good antagonists aren't always just evil. If they were, that would be too boring. The best antagonists can be morally gray, misunderstood, or simply standing in the way of the hero's goals. And that's exactly what makes them so compelling. Take the big bad guy from Demon Slayer, Muzan, the ruthless, mass-murdering demon king, the creator of all demons. The reason why countless human lives were taken by demons for over 1,000 years. Imagine if he caused all that suffering for no reason at all. He's just evil for the sake of being evil. He'd just be a one-note character with no depth. He wouldn't be an effective antagonist. Manga legend Hirohiko Araki, the creator of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, explained it this way.
Humans aren't always pure and good, but carry an ugly side within themselves. When readers see an evil character freely exhibit those normally hidden desires and act in a way the readers could not, the readers can find great catharsis.
That's why readers become obsessed with villains like Dio Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. By giving Dio a tragic upbringing and a hunger for power, readers empathize with him, even though his actions were terrible.
By providing an outlet for the angry feelings that we all share, you can depict a more nuanced, lifelike range of emotions. If you can create a truly evil character, your manga will more likely become a classic.
A strong antagonist does two things. They give readers an emotional outlet, and they push the protagonist to grow. They test the hero's beliefs, strengths, and weaknesses. And by extension, they even challenge us as readers. And that's why we love them. If you're not sure if your manga's on the right track, then book a free one-on-one manga consultation call with us. We'll help you figure out what's holding you back, and we'll give you an exact roadmap of how to make manga with characters that'll hook your readers from page 1. The best part? We're sending our best students on an all-expense-paid trip to Japan's biggest comic convention. And there, you'll get the rare chance to get feedback directly from Japanese publishers. We'll even translate your manga to Japanese and hire an interpreter on the ground. Even if you're a total beginner with no story yet, that's okay. We'll teach you everything you need to know. So, if you're ready to kickstart your manga journey, then book your free manga consultation call through the link in the description. Pick your poison. Now, not all antagonists are created equal, and that's a good thing. Different kinds of antagonists bring out different sides of your story. So, let's go over the most common types. Number 1, the classic villain. This is the straightforward bad guy, evil, ruthless, and proud of it. Think Dio from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Queen Nihilenia from Sailor Moon, or Johan from Monster. Their main goal is domination, destruction, or just raw power, and they'll do anything to get it. Next is the anti-villain. Here's where things get interesting. Anti-villains blur the line between good and evil. They have understandable or even noble goals, but their methods are twisted. Take Nakago from Fushigi Yugi. He killed countless innocent lives in pursuit of his goal of becoming a god. He's ruthless and manipulative, but this is because of his traumatic past and a burning desire for vengeance against the kingdom that ruined his life. It doesn't excuse his horrible actions, but it does explain them. Or take Itachi from Naruto. His ultimate goal was peace and preventing a world war, but he carried it out in the most horrifying way, massacring his entire clan. The one person he spared was Sasuke, his beloved little brother. Every terrible choice he made was rooted in that love, even if it meant becoming the villain in Sasuke's eyes. Next, the false or hidden antagonist. Sometimes the character you think is the villain isn't the real one at all. The story throws you a curveball, revealing that the true antagonist was someone else in the shadows. This creates tension and shock, making the payoff even stronger. Warning: spoiler alert, proceed with caution. Take Sosuke Aizen from Bleach. For dozens of chapters, he seemed like the perfect captain. Calm, kind, and trustworthy. Then bam, the mask comes off. From the beginning, he'd been plotting. Aizen exploited everyone's trust, orchestrated Rukia's near execution, and faked his own death. All so he could get his hands on the Hogyoku. Or think about Reiner, Annie, and Berthold in Attack on Titan. For years, they fought side by side with the Survey Corps, building friendships and trust. Then, the twist. They were enemy agents, the Titan shifters who breached the wall, causing the massacre that killed hundreds. That betrayal didn't just surprise the characters, it shook the audience. False or hidden antagonists prove that sometimes the scariest villains are the ones standing right beside you. Next, the inner antagonist. Not all enemies come from outside. Sometimes the biggest struggle is within. The inner antagonist could be fear, self-doubt, or even a darker alter ego. Look at Ichigo from Bleach. Ichigo constantly struggles with the hollow within him, White Zangetsu. He's a darker, more violent version of himself that threatens to take over. Ichigo's battles aren't just physical, they're internal. They're about controlling himself and figuring out what kind of person and hero he wants to be. And finally, here's a bonus: the hero antagonist. Sometimes the villain is the main character. The story is told from the antagonist's perspective, forcing readers to question their own morals. The most iconic example is Light Yagami from Death Note. On the surface, he's the protagonist, smart, charming, and driven by a sense of justice. But as the story goes on, his quest to rid the world of criminals turns into a god complex. Light slowly shifts from hero to villain before our very eyes, making him both fascinating and terrifying. Hero antagonists work because they flip the script. Readers are drawn into the villain's perspective. It's a powerful way to challenge your audience, blurring the line between right and wrong. If your hero had a twin raised by the enemy, what would that look like? That's exactly how you should think about your antagonist. They're the mirror image of your hero. Protagonists and antagonists are like two sides of the same coin. They may share similar motivations or traits, but the way they go about achieving their goals is completely different. So, how do you start planning this contrast effectively? Our mentor, pro manga editor Vivi says,
you need to establish 3 key things when planning both your protagonist and antagonist. Number 1, what do they want? Number 2, why do they want it? And number 3, how are they going to get it?
Then consider, what makes them similar? At the heart of every great rivalry is a sense of connection. Heroes and villains may stand on opposite sides, but what makes them fascinating is that they often share the same foundation. Both need strong motivations, a clear why behind their action. A hero might fight to protect the people they love, while the antagonist seeks to protect themselves at the risk of harming others. The desire is similar, but the execution is drastically different. They also need flaws. A flawless hero feels unrealistic, and a just evil villain feels flat. The tension comes from how their weaknesses mirror each other. A protagonist might be naive, impulsive, or overly trusting, while an antagonist might be arrogant, cruel, or manipulative. These mirrored flaws make their conflict feel natural, like they were destined to clash from the start. In Fruits Basket, Toru and Akito are both deeply shaped by loneliness and fear of abandonment. Toru's flaw is that she often puts others' needs before her own, to the point of self-sacrifice. Akito's flaw is the opposite, clinging to control and inflicting pain to keep people from leaving. Their shared desire for connection binds them, but their flaws push them in opposite directions. What makes them different? Now, this is where contrast shines. Protagonists and antagonists should differ in a couple of things. One is their external design. It's not just about what your characters do, it's also about how they look. Use contrasting design choices, light versus dark colors, heroic versus sinister silhouettes. Contrast subtle details like posture, expressions, or even clothing. Mangaka Hirohiko Araki designed his characters Jonathan Joestar and Dio Brando this way.
With Jonathan and Dio, I based the characters off the duality between light and shadow, and used black and white contrasts in my drawing to set them apart.
Both of them have strong physiques, but Jonathan has dark hair and big doe-like eyes, and in colored illustrations, his skin has a tanned, healthy glow. Meanwhile, Dio has light hair, angled dragon-like eyes, and pale skin. Remember, readers should be able to sense who the hero and the antagonist are the moment they appear on the page, even before a single word is spoken. Next, internal goals. The difference between a hero and a villain isn't just how they look. It's what drives them inside. Heroes usually have selfless goals, protecting others, fighting for justice, or standing up for something bigger than themselves. Villains, on the other hand, often have selfish goals, chasing power, revenge, or control, even if it hurts other people. Take My Hero Academia as an example. Deku's dream is to become a symbol of hope and protect people, even if it means putting his own life on the line. His quirk, One for All, is a power that grows stronger by being passed down to help the next generation. All for One steals quirks for himself, hoarding power and controlling others for his own gain. One represents giving, while the other represents taking. That selflessness versus selfishness make their rivalry resonate on a deeper level. It's not just a physical battle, it's a battle of values. When you design your characters, ask yourself,
does my hero put others before themselves?
Does my antagonist put themselves before all others?
That single contrast in goals can define the entire story. And finally, backstories. Protagonists and antagonists can have similar backstories, but the difference is in how they choose to deal with them. Take one of the most iconic rivalries in manga, for example, Naruto and Sasuke. Both grew up with painful loneliness and loss. But Naruto used his pain to build friendships that gave him strength. Sasuke, on the other hand, let his pain consume him, turning toward revenge and isolation. Naruto's flaw was his reckless optimism, while Sasuke's was his consuming pride and thirst for revenge. When you design your protagonist and antagonist as mirror images, you create tension. Their similarities help us understand them, while their differences make us root for one side over the other. Think about it. Jonathan and Dio, Deku and All for One, Naruto and Sasuke, Toru and Akito. What makes these rivalries unforgettable isn't just their fights. It's the clash of values, flaws, and choices. Who's your favorite manga villain? Let us know in the comments. If you're sitting there with a story idea, but you're not sure how to bring your characters to life or how to get started with your manga, then book a free one-on-one manga consultation call with us. We'll figure out what's holding you back and create an exact roadmap on what you need to do next. The best part? You'll be surrounded by a support system of coaches and aspiring mangakas just like you, so you'll never have to create alone. Plus, you'll even get the chance to share your work directly with publishers in Japan. So, if you're ready to take your manga to the next level, just hit the link in the description. And if you want to know more about how to make a good protagonist, then you can check out this video.